Good morning, everybody, and welcome to P&M in the AM. But you're only going to get M today because Pat is on vacation. Al is also off as well. So you got me. That's it. Just me. Mike Lauro in today. Guys, good morning to you guys, and happy Sunday. We got one more game to go in the books in the MLB for the first technical, even though it's past the halfway point. But one more game before a much-needed All-Star break. Zach Wheeler out. As you know, as of Friday, he removed himself from the All-Star game. So, again, a little bit of backlash because neither Ranger Suarez or Christopher Sanchez got the nod to go in place of him. So we'll have to wait and see. But right now, it looks like Kyle Schwarber will be the only Phillies representative, and I am fine with that. Schwarber with 30 home runs on the season, you know, he's got to be there. So I'm happy for Schwarber as we get ready and we get set. Phils took one on the chin last night, man. Losing to the Padres 5-4. Again, Christopher Sanchez goes today for the Fightins to cap off the first half. We will definitely dive into that. Looking at it last night, Bryce Harper, again, 1 for 3 with 2 walks. You know, right now, key component, Alec Boehm getting hurt in this game last night. So Amundo Sosa had to step in. Again, another abysmal performance by Max Kepler. I think it's just time that we cut bait with this guy and let him go. Brandon Marsh, 1 for 4. Again, this, and where's Bryson Stott at? Bryson Stott carrying a collar again. You know, I'm sorry. Trey Turner, 1 for 5. It's not going to get it done, guys. Nick Castellanos, 1 for 4. I'm surprised that this team even put up 4 runs yesterday. Just looking at this line score. You know, Bryson Stott, what has happened to him, man? I'm sorry. Like, for me, he's regressed so bad. It's not even funny. And this isn't a Rob Thompson issue. This is a player issue. Okay. He has regressed like something fierce. Nick Castellanos, too. He was a guy who I've wanted here for a very long time. And he finally comes here, and it's just like, you know, I don't know if he's, you know, an injury we're not knowing about, or he's just, I can't remember Castellanos being this bad. In anywhere that I've seen him go. He's been usually a pretty hands-on player, so I'm hoping for a better second half from Nick Castellanos, as well as Bryce Harper. I mean, Bryce Harper's got to start putting the ball in play. The guy last night, believe it or not, in this Phillies lineup, is a guy that I've been killing most of the first half of the year, and that was JT Realmuto. He's been coming on a lot lately. I do like the fact that, you know, I'm starting to see them platoon Max Kepler with Otto Kemp, giving Kemp some more playing time. I think Kemp deserves it. With this injury now to Alec Boehm, I can definitely see the Phillies giving, you know, Kemp some time at third base, which I'm all for. Adam C's checking in on 2 different platforms. He said, "Good morning, guys. Happy Sunday." Well, it's just me today, Adam. But he said, "Good morning, Mike." There you go. Good morning to you, Adam. This Phillies game today, like I said, they finally fallen out of first place. The Mets did overtake them last night, so the Mets are in first place by a half game over the Phillies. Not really so much I'm really worried about. Again, the Mets have some hard series coming up. So do the Phillies. But I'll tell you what, the thing that was disheartening to me about this series in San Diego is we had 2 of our better pitchers on the mound, and both of them really kind of got waxed. If you really kind of look at it, I mean, kind of unceremonious, you know, for Ranger, you know, not looking as good as he did on Friday. And then last night with Zach Wheeler, I kind of expected it to be kind of an off game with Wheeler, considering, you know, I kind of you kind of figured that Wheeler wouldn't have his best stuff considering he just pitched a complete game the start before that. So I felt like last night the Phillies bat should have came a little bit more to help him along. Um, considering what he did just the previous start before. Oh, we got the Gobbler checking in. He says, "Good morning, bro. On my way back from South Carolina, came home to play with you." Oh, isn't that cute? So Pat, be safe in your travels, man. I got it from here, brother. No need to worry. Get you and the family home back home safe, and hopefully you had a good time down there in South Carolina. Mike Papernick said, this team better hope Wheeler's arm don't get and Rangers back act up anytime after the All-Star break. Schwarber can stay healthy or this team's in trouble. Well, I mean, Mike, listen, I think with Wheeler not going out there and participating, going down there to participate for this, now he doesn't have to catch a connecting flight when they leave San Diego today. He can fly right back to Philadelphia. Now he's got all week off. Same thing with Schwarber's probably the only one. He's got to get on a plane and go to Atlanta. So I mean, and what are they going to use him for? What's he going to get? He may come into the game as a DH and get a couple of bats. Ohtani's going to start. So again, I'm looking to see what goes on with this team. But I liked what happened yesterday as far as the reemergence of JT Realmuto over these last couple of weeks, man. He's really been swinging the bat well. Uncle Steve checking in says Bohm got roasted on Twitter when Sosa came through yesterday. Yes, I saw some of that things too about him, but the way I'm looking at it with this whole Alec Bohm thing too, it kind of puts a monkey wrench into it now. So it's not like him getting hurt now kind of throws for me a monkey wrench in it, because now Bohm, you can't move him. And they only have really another 18 days or so before they can before the trade deadline. So it's not like you got to see how long he's going to be out. If he's out for 8 of those 10 days, that means you got about an 8-day sample size of him coming back and playing. And if he's not playing well, it's going to hurt his stock a little bit. Not that I don't think he had much stock to begin with. But right now, man, like I said, there's guys on this team that would just really need to pick it up. And Max Kepler's one of them. Brandon Marsh is another one. I could see the Phillies getting rid of both of them. I think Kepler can get DFA'd. And to be honest with you, there's a guy out there that I wouldn't mind seeing the Phillies pick up. He wasn't having a great year this year. He just got DFA'd by Atlanta, which is Alex Verdugo. He can play left field. Yeah, he's a left-handed bat, but he can play left field. He plays really good defense. And I'll tell you what, he's playoff tested. As much as people want to say anything, he is playoff tested. Here it is. Castellanos, good and back. Good and aggressive at the plate. Bad, he'll swing at anything on the first pitch, either in the strike zone or not. Cassie's a free swinger, man. That's all you need to know about that. He is a free swinger. Mike said, we all said we didn't worry about the Mets last playoffs and what happened, so there should be concern. Yeah, there should be concern, Mike, but you got to, again, I'm going to keep reiterating this, everybody, you guys, especially you, Mike, you'll turn around and say, oh, we're living off the 2022. Well, guess what? 2022, the Phillies were the hot team. The last 2 years, they've run into the hot team. And it's a real difference when you are not the hot team coming into the postseason. Now, I'm sorry. If you're looking at it, the Dodgers lead the way right now with 57 wins in the National League. From 57 wins to the second wild card is a total of 3 games, man. 3 games. That's it. Dodgers have 57. The Cubs got 56. The Brewers and Mets have 55. And the Phillies are right there at 54. Then you have the other 2 West Coast teams with San Diego and San Francisco at 52 wins. So, I mean, there's a bottleneck right there. Like, a team can go from leading the National League to being the last wild card within a week's time. So it's there for the taking. You know, so I mean, we have to, we have to sit there and take, we have to just kind of take it for a grain of salt of what it is. Nobody's running away with the National League. You got to look at the overall spectrum, and that's what I do. I know Matty gets on here, and Matty's got his views, and I don't necessarily agree with all of his views, but that's why it's good to be us, because we can, be different and have different opinions. But the one thing that, that I don't care what host gets on here, they have to acknowledge the NL is not, it is definitely winnable. It is definitely winnable. The National League's winnable. And the Phillies got to go out there and take it. Now, so far, they've won 20 series, I think, so far, or 20 series or 21 series so far. I mean, come on. I mean, they won 27 all of last year. So you think they're only going to win 7 more series going forward? I don't think so. The Phillies are going to be there. The Phillies are a good team. Do they have holes? Do they have needs? Yes. Are we going to fix all these needs at the trade deadline? Absolutely not. And this is the one area I agree with Matty B on. He will definitely let you know. And I think me and him are both in what's the word I'm looking for here? We're both in agreement that this team is not going to get fixed over the trade deadline. They're not 1 or 2 pieces away. They're about 4 or 5 pieces away. And what I'm saying to you is guys like Brandon Marsh, Max Kepler, even Bryson Stott right now, they don't deserve to be on this team. Bryson Stott has really, really just went downhill. And I think one of the bad things was letting Buddy Kennedy go and sending him back down for reassignment, which now I believe he's on Toronto. He's playing for Toronto's AAA. So he didn't take the assignment for the Phillies, and he ended up signing with Toronto. So now he's down playing, I believe, in Syracuse for Toronto. I would have kept Buddy Kennedy around. At least somebody that you can get back, and try to move forward. Uncle Steve checking in says it's only a rib contusion, isn't it? I believe that's what I heard, a rib contusion. But with the ribs, it's funny, man. You could be in pain for a few days for that. So, I mean, hopefully he's back for Friday night and he doesn't miss any time. But he definitely won't be playing today. I'd be surprised if he was. Mike Papernicki said, we are all hoping for Boone to be traded. That's not happening. I don't think it's going to happen. Mike, I don't think it was going to happen during the trade deadline anyway. I really, truly don't. Unless they were planning on overspending for somebody. Like a Ryan Halsey. But then if you're doing that, you got to throw Bohm and, probably one of your top draft picks, one of your higher, minor leaguers in with them. You know what I mean? So you would have to probably do that to get a guy like Ryan Halsey, Mason Miller, something like that. You would have to throw it in. And if I believe right, I think the Phillies offered Bohm for Mason Miller last year. Now, you got to remember, Bohm was an all-star last year, and they offered him, they offered him, I don't know what the whole package was, but I know he was a part of the package to go out for Mason Miller, and the A's pretty much just hung up. So, I don't know, man. Ryan Swope checking in. He says, my boy's it's boy today. Just, I'm single. Pat's on the way back from South Carolina after a week's vacation down there with the family. And Al is, I don't know. Al's just off today. I mean, he had to cover that late game on Friday, so maybe he's still recovering from that game. So, and then he probably had to watch last night and then listen to Matty B. So, I'm pretty sure Al's probably just waking up right now. Steve saying, my concern is that we are 2 games away from not being in the playoffs. Well, Steve, that's true. But they're also 3 games away from leading the NL. So you got to stop and think about that for a second, man. Again, there's a lot. The NL is wide open. And I do think the National League is the better baseball conference this year. I believe whoever comes out of the National League is winning the World Series. And I don't care who they throw up. I mean, Detroit's playing well. But the one thing I've noticed, when Detroit's got to play, a top team, when they got to go in and play like the Yankees or whatever, like they come out on the bottom end of that. Like they're pretty much beaten up on their division right now. And, they're doing what good teams are supposed to do. But, I want to make sure that, I want to see what happens when they got to play teams, more experienced teams in there. I do like Houston. I think Houston's playing very good ball over there in the American League. That would be my pick right now to go to the World Series. They've been there, done that. And right now, it's looking like that's who I would go with from over there. Adam C. saying, what do you think the Phillies need to do the most at the trade deadline? They need to go get Finneran from the Washington Nationals. That's who I want. I want him. Or if you can't get him, go get the 2 kids from Pittsburgh. That's who I would want for them to have. It says, let's just make the playoffs, or we're going to make the playoffs. That's most people saying, no, shut up. Enough. We're just making the playoffs and being in the playoffs. Got to be hot at the right time. You know what, Ryan? I agree with that. And you know what? The Phillies really haven't been hot. Like, they got warm for a little bit at the end of April into May. They kind of got on a little bit of a roll there. But this team hasn't played its best baseball either yet. Now, with that being said, people were talking just about, that was crazy. Mike saying Phil's offered Bowman Castellanos to the A's for Miller and Rooker and got shot down. That A's shot that down quickly. I didn't hear Castellanos was a part of that trade. I did not hear that. I know it was Bohm, but I think they wanted Painter or Miller. I didn't hear Castellanos with that one. The one I heard with Castellanos was the one for Tucker. That's who they wanted. The kid that ended up going to Chicago, which, by the way, didn't he sign? Did he sign just a 1-year deal there or something? Because I saw something the other day that he's on the trading block. The Cubs are looking to trade Kyle Tucker. I thought he was having a pretty decent year with them. So I don't know. Ryan says it was Bowman Castellanos were for Houston for Kyle Tucker. Okay. Yeah, that's the one I heard. Jackson Morrow and Steve Cole and Steve Keane is everything this team is missing. True. I'll tell you what, Jackson Morrow's a hell of a baseball player. He's been lighting the Phillies up, man. He says Kyle finishing shouldn't cost that much at all. I you know what, Steve? I truly believe that. I believe that they could get Kyle Finneran for my dream, and I'm going to be real honest with you, my dream rotation or my dream trade scenarios right now would be for, this would be my dream trade right now, to get Kyle Finneran and be able to go out and get Clase and Quan. But if you do that, you're giving up somebody. You're going to get rid of a Miller. You're going to get rid of a Abel. You're going to get rid of a Painter. I just don't want to get rid of Crawford. To me, right now, the only untouchable I think the Phillies have in their system is Justin Crawford. You're open to everybody else. I mean, really, if they want Painter, you send Painter over in a package. Especially for them, if they want inspiring contracts, you can kind of load it up with either Marsh or Kepler. Sending an outfielder back. But I'm not doing it for, you might have to give up 2 prospects, but it doesn't matter to me. Like, I would give up Abel and Miller and say, here you go. You can get Abel, Miller, and we'll send you back either Brandon Marsh or Kepler as a throw-in. And there you go. And, you pull that trade off. If the Phillies are able to do those 3 trades, or those 2 trades, and they get those 3 players back, I think it would help this team immensely. And I think it would help them going forward. Another guy, too, I've been hearing kind of linked to the Phillies as well has been Taylor Ward. I know he's a little older. He's like 31 or whatever, but he's a power bat. Bats for them right side. And I don't think you would have to give up much to get him. Again, if you listen to me Friday night, I told you the two teams I don't want you to do any more trades with are the Baltimore Orioles and Anaheim Angels. So I would do that. If you can bring them in, if it's not going to cost you much to go and bring in a guy to rent him out for half a year, go get him. He's a good bat. He's not a bad He's not bad. You know, I think he's kind of an upgrade over guys like Cedric Mullins. You know what I mean? Like I said, I brought up Alex Verdugo earlier. That's on the cheap because the guy's just sitting out there. You don't have to give nothing up to go get him. And why not? You know what I mean? If you're looking to do that. But Marsh cannot have any more bats on this team. Even the bad year that whatchamacallit's having, Verdugo, the year that he is having, like right now, if you're looking at it, oh my God, like he's having a much better year than Brandon Marsh. Like Brandon Marsh right now is batting 259. So he's got his average up to 250. But, you know, he had 4 bats yesterday, 1 hit, 1 for 4 yesterday. But I would bring it in. I would definitely bring him in. Again, Taylor Ward. Again, I would. It's got to be the right price. You know, again, like I'm not giving up one of my top 4 for him, not for a rental. You don't give up your top 4 for a rental. If you're going to give up a top 4, you got to give up a top 4 for like Class A. He's got years of control. You know what I mean? And you know, you got to wait and see if that's what's going to get done. Adam says, hopefully the Phillies can get more runs today and Sanchez has a good game. Sanchez has been lights out, man. You want to talk about a surprise? Like this kid, go back to the 2022 season, okay? We were kind of like looking like, this kid might be a 5th starter. Dude, he's moved up to a number 2, number 3 on this staff quickly. So I'm not worried about starting pitching. I think once Nola gets back, I think he'll be all right. I think he's going to turn the ship. I really, truly do. I you know, Aaron Nola's never really had a really bad, like he's had a bad years where they didn't score runs for him. But I think he'll do enough to keep them here today. Ryan says needs Painter with Ranger leaving and Wheeler only 2 more years. Who says Ranger's leaving? Think about that for a second. Everybody's all pretty sure that he's going to leave. I'll tell you what, you're going to know your answer at the trade deadline because if Abel or Painter get moved, then you know that they're going to try to re-sign Ranger Suarez. You know, Ryan has my feelings exactly. Enough with trading with the Angels. I wonder if Matty B is going to be down at Citizens Bank Park anytime this weekend wearing his LA Angels logo hoppy jersey. Mike Papernick saying I like Alex Verdugo. I do too. I just think he was in a bad spot with that lineup. I do. I think he needs a change of pace. Maybe a package with Marsh and Rojas and some projects. That's not going to get that done. Not for Class A and Quan. That's not going to do that. Uncle Noob says Eduardo Tate's defense makes me wonder if he's even a major league catcher. You may see him dealt. You know, his name's been brought up in a few. You know, he's an offensive kid. So, I mean, I really did. I've seen him brought up in something, but it doesn't. I would definitely do it. Mike Papernick says Rangers going to get what he wants. 7-year contract is being reported. Yeah, I don't think he's going to 7 years, Mike. I believe he's at 30. So, you know, I don't see him walking. I don't see either one of the two big. I can definitely see them both staying, especially if, you know, again, you're going to have, you know, I think with Nola getting hurt this year, it kind of, you know, for some odd reason, man, I feel like the Phillies are going to try and trade Nola this offseason. I think they're going to try to keep Ranger, and I think they got the money to keep both of them. They got the money to keep both him and Schwarber this year. I think they do, but they need some other contact guys in, and I think the trade for Quan to get him in this lineup would do just wonders here. Mike says Ranger walks, Schwarber walks. I don't think Schwarber walks. Who are you going to have as DH in this lineup? Harper? I mean, the only thing I can think of is ain't the polar bear a free agent, Alonso? So if he's a free agent at the end of the year, you can go get Alonso, bring him here, and then, you know, you can bring Alonso in, move Bryce, you know. making sure he gets him there. So I can see that happening. That's only if Alonso's a free agent. Um, so, but the one guy that I've been hearing the Phillies really, really connected to is Byron Buxton. Nice player. Matter of fact, he's having a great year. Problem with Buxton is my man can't stay healthy. He's played only two seasons where he's had over 100 games, and right now he's 31, and so that body's going to be breaking down even sooner. So again, my man, that's what I would say. Al says, "My man, I'm sorry I couldn't be there." Al, it's okay, buddy. It's okay, buddy. I'm handling it. I got broad shoulders, man. You know, I even got the coffee ready. He said what? He said Alonso will out of a 2-year deal. Yeah. Yeah, because I think this year was the only one. This year was the only one. After this year, I think he can opt out. So if he can opt out and the Phillies are going to give him more money, then you can let Schwarber walk because now you're replacing his productivity. You know what I mean? And it's a right-handed bat. So, you can give, if Bryce wants to go back to playing right field, he can play right field. He can DH. If you don't want to, you can let Marchand become the catcher, give JT the DH option. So, I mean, it really kind of helps the Phillies out. So, if Schwarber were to leave. Now, I think Schwarber may end up leaving only because there's going to be a ton of teams. He's a DH. He's going to go wherever they pay him the most money, unless it's somewhere kind of crazy where he just goes, I think I'll take less money and stay here and play in the postseason. Pause. I got my coffee cup this morning. Hopefully you guys have your coffee as well. So, all right. Now that we are kind of getting this established, I haven't had a chance to take a look at some of the MLB's upcoming free agents for this year. I really want to take a look, man. I want to see who's coming a free agent at the end of this year. 2026 free agents. Oh God, yeah. Oh, if I have my way, Adam, if I have my way, I hope he stays in Lehigh Valley all year. I don't want to see that dude anywhere. Let's see. Let's do first baseman. All right. Out of first baseman, your upcoming free agents this year. Garrett Cooper of Atlanta, Dominic Smith, Ty Francis, Mark Kahana, Joey Gallo. I didn't even know that dude was still in the league. He fell off big time. Believe it or not, he's a UFA. Wilmer Flores, San Francisco, UFA. Carlos Santana. I used to call him Fat Panda when he was here. He's a free agent. Paul Goldschmidt. Now, this is what you want to hear something that's funny. Paul Goldschmidt's only making $500,000 more than Carlos Santana. That's crazy. So Josh Naylor, he's making $14 million a year. Pete Alonso, $27 million. He has a player option, and Max Muncy, LA Dodgers, has a club option for $10 million. So that's just your first baseman right there. Let's go to left field. Let's see what left fielders have. Kyle Schwarber making $19 million. Jesse Winkler making $7.5 million. Austin Slater making $1.7 million. Austin Hayes making $5 million. He has a mutual option after this year. Schwarber, Michael Conforto. I'll tell you what, Conforto, I didn't even know he was on the Dodgers. He kind of disappeared, didn't he? This is a guy that used to kill the Phillies. He kind of disappeared. But those are your left field options coming in on left field. I want to see, just for poops and giggles, let's see catcher. I want to see who's available. Real Muto will be a UFA. Christian Vasquez from Minnesota. Victor Carchidi, Max Stassi from the Giants. Austin Hedges from Cleveland. Jacob Stalling. James McCann. Wow. Remember when him and Him and JT were catchers 1 and 2. Boy, has he fallen. JT's up around 23 million. McCann's playing for $1 million. Ugh. William Contreras, Milwaukee has a club auction, $6 million. Salvatore Perez, Kansas City. Holy God. Holy God. Salvatore Perez, $20.5 million. Club option has him for 13. Tom Murphy, San Francisco, 4 point club option. Mitch Garver, Danny Jansen, and Elias Diaz, those 3 catchers are a mutual. So there's your catching. You know what, Steve? I'm actually going to check that out for you, buddy. I'm going to do starting pitching. Let's see what they got. Wow. Vincent Velasquez. Want him back? You can get him back. He's right now. He's a UFA at the end of this year. $760,000. Carlos Carrasco, 1.5. He's a UFA. His market value is about 1.7. Kyle Hendricks. Right now, he's at 2.5. He's looking probably to double his money. This was the guy I was looking at. Wade Miley with the Reds. He's a UFA at the end of the year. Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks. He's at $9 million this year. They're saying his estimated value next year is going to be $17 million. Wow. Steven Matz. There's a lefty for you. He's making $11 million this year. His projected number is to be around 10 next year. So it looks like they're kind of pushing back. Patrick Corbin. He's making $10 million. He's looking to be about $7 million next year. So I guess he's having a bad year this year. I want to know something with you guys. Zach Eflin's going to be a free agent. Would you bring him back? Would you bring back Zach Eflin to Philadelphia? Dylan Cease, again, he's looking at about Dylan Cease is about $13 million a year. Zach Gallen, his price has dropped. John Gray. Wow. I'm looking at some of these guys. Charlie Morton's older than dirt. I wouldn't touch him. I wouldn't touch these next 3. Morton, Verlander, and Scherzer, or even Miles Michaelis. I wouldn't touch any of those guys. Looking at it right here. Framer Valdez. I would try to look to bring him in. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Jordan Montgomery, remember him? Remember the big offseason? He's $25 million. He's an unrestricted free agent after this year. You can look to bring him in. Here's a pitcher that I've often liked. He's with Kansas City now. He looks like he's about to get a raise. He's making $15 million this year. His market value is looking at around $19.2 per year right now, and that's Seth Lugo. I've always liked him. I thought he was a decent pitcher. I thought they could, get away with some. He always kept the Mets in games, man. When he was there, he's saying Zach Eflin would be a go bullpen piece if he wanted to play. If he wanted to be in the bullpen, Adam, these are starting pitchers. Walker Buehler. Now look at this. They have it right now that he is making $21 million, right, with a mutual options. It's $25 million mutual options. They said his market value right now is about $3.8 million. Walker Buehler, but he's a right-hander. I'm only looking at lefties right now, and I'll tell you what, Jose Quintana, always liked him as well. It's a mutual thing, so he could definitely get out of Milwaukee if he wanted to. These are all conditional players. Luis Giolito for Boston. Al saying Framer would be good. I would like Framer here, Valdez. Yeah. And he said if Eflin took a bullpen role, he can come back. You never know. You never know. They may try to do that. Viv says, one more game before the All-Star break. Yes, one more game, baby. One more game. Hopefully we don't get swept out by the by the Padres. But here's one I got for you guys. It looks like he's going to get traded, and for all intents and purposes, it looks like he's getting traded. That would make him a UD. It would make him a UDA or a UFA. Chris Sale. He's at $19 million a year right now. He's projected to make 22. Freddie Peralta, again, 3.1 million. Now they're saying his upside is huge right now. We're looking at $22 million. So that's just some of the things that we were looking at. I looked at the infielders. We already have that. Let me see center field. That's the one area I didn't check. These are your UFAs, free agents right now. Michael Taylor with the White Sox, Trent Grisham with the Yankees, Cedric Mullins, and Mike Yastrzemski. That is for right now. Player option is Cody Bellinger with the Yankees. He's making 26 right now. A mutual is Harrison Bader with the Twins. He's looking. I think he's going to get moved too. Jaron Duran. This guy's definitely getting moved at the trade deadline. I don't know why. And then Lewis Roberts. Lewis Robert, Jr. There's your center fielders. The last two, Durant and Roberts, have a club option. Harrison Bader's a mutual option. Cody Bellinger is a player's option, which I find that really, really funny. He just signed the deal to go there, and he can basically opt out after this year. So I think that's pretty cool. There are your options for the Phillies in this upcoming season. It says the Orioles should be selling this deadline. You know what? I agree with you. I think they should too. I personally, I think they got a lot of pieces that they could get back a nice haul for some of these guys that they've had. So I would love to see them get some pieces back. I just, for me this is a Phillies kind of base sports show, I'm going to be honest with you. For me, it's kind of crazy. The two teams I don't want to do any more deals with are the Orioles and the Angels. I feel like we've gotten shafted on both of those deals. But the one I will say, Gregory Soto probably might get you guys something. I heard he's on the move down there for you guys. So make sure you guys check out to see what they get back down there in Baltimore. It says this Phillies team needs a left fielder, center fielder, right fielder, second baseman, catcher, third baseman all after the season. Damn, Mike, you just want to replace the whole team? I don't think they need a right fielder. They have a right fielder in Bryce Harper, so he can go back there and play. Center field, they have a center fielder in Justin Crawford. I think he will be up here. So I think they need a left fielder. Third baseman, they still have Alec Bohm playing third until they trade him. If not, you can go to Otto Kemp. I think over a full season, I think Kemp can give you the same production as Alec Bohm. I'm sorry. I think he can. And I think he's got a better glove. Now, catcher, you're definitely going to do that. Now, I wonder if they re-up JT, too. Just give him a couple-year deal, like another 2-year deal or whatever. Or are they going to let him walk? But, second baseman, I guess you can still live with Stott for right now, unless you get something. Again, they can't go out and get everybody. They got a $500 million payroll that they got to pay. Now granted, you have JT coming off the books this year. You'll have Ranger coming off the books this year. You'll have Kyle Schwarber coming off the books this year. But you still got one more year of Castellanos. That's if they don't trade him in the offseason. I think there could be some major changes, Mike, coming. But they have some decent pieces. That says Trey Bohm, he's not the guy. I agree with you. I think they can get cheaper by trading Bohm and literally just going with Otto Kemp. I think Otto Kemp can give them the same production. Really, if you kind of alternate him and Sosa, you alternate them two. I think they can easily give you the same production that they were given, that Alec Bohm has been given. So that's going to kill it with our Phillies coverage for today. Now we're going to move on to the Birds. And there has been some crazy things coming. Moving on with the Birds, there's a situation that is, kind of looming with the Birds. Usually Howie gets everything done and gets everything going. Right now, before we get into camp, Andrew McCuba's not signed yet. And to me, that might be a little bit of, it's crazy. But it's not just the Eagles. If you look all around the NFL, all but 2 of them are holding out, second-round picks. If you look at it, there's only, with 30 of the 32 second-round picks unsigned as of right now. This was Ian Rappaport. Wide receiver Trey Harris from the Chargers is officially a holdout because they start early, because they have to go to them, and the Chiefs get a chance to start early because they have to go over to Brazil. So, but yeah, this is playing a it's smart by McCuba's it's smart by McCuba's people. Nobody else in the second round has gotten drafted yet, so they don't really know what to gauge it off of. So I'm waiting to see really kind of what happens now. I'm comfortable with Sidney Brown stepping in. If McCuba's going to be there, I think Sidney Brown's been in the defense. He knows what he's doing. He said, let's be real, the Eagles really don't need help, any more help. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Believe it or not, I'm going to let you know there, VR. I'm going to let you know. There's a good chance that Justin Simmons signs with the Eagles. I think he's going to sign. That's why I don't think they're really worried about this too much, because there's been kind of chirpings along from both sides, from the Eagles side and Justin Simmons' side, about coming here at least on a 1-year deal. And I think he's just waiting to get right before camp, and I think they're going to sign him because he's still out there. He's still unsigned. And, he pretty much said on a podcast he wants to come back and play in Vic Fangio's defense. So, and he wants to play with this group of this defense. So I would be looking out really for the next couple of days to see the Justin Simmons signing to the Eagles. They have plenty of cap money that they can pay the guy. So I'm waiting to see. He says, is he still good, though? Yeah, he had a productive season last year in Atlanta. He really did. I mean, and you take a look. They had both of those guys. They had Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons back, and they're back there, man. So I think it's cool. I think it's really, really good. Mike saying the Eagles, I think, an offensive need is to upgrade the wide receiver group after. No, I'm going to tell you this right now. Jahan Dotson will prove his weight in gold this year. You got to remember, guys, he got traded like the last week of training camp over here. So he had to learn a new playbook, everything on the fly. He's had a full offseason, man. Now he's going to have a full training camp with the Eagles. I'm telling you, I'm not giving up on Jahan Dotson. I watched this dude play at Penn State. I watched him play, dude. He was a home run hitter on a team that had nothing. So I'm looking forward to that. It says, Mike says, it seems the Eagles seem a little lack on the edge. I don't think so, Mike. I mean, if you're looking at the edge, like right now, you have Nolan Smith on one end. On the other end, you got Jalen Hunt, but you're also forgetting they got Ojulari from the Giants, who's going to be an edge rusher in this defense. They're not going to ask him to cover anybody. He's going to be an edge rusher. You also got Josh Uche, who's coming in with a chip on his shoulder. So I don't think Uche is going to be a bust. I really don't. Now, I think they will pick up 2 other people kind of towards the end. And don't forget, too, Jahan Campbell can also rush the passer. So it would be I would love to see. I like where they're at right now. And Uche's still young enough. He's not over the hill. So I just like the fact that they were able to get him. And, he's going to be a rotational piece here. Your 2 guys, I'm being serious, man. Your 2 guys are going to be Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith. Those are going to be your guys. They're your starters. So, again, they may start Uche in the beginning, maybe give Jalix, but they're your two young guys right there. And I like the two guys that they have behind them, with Ojulari and Uche. I like them both, man. So, but don't be surprised. They may pick somebody up. You never know, especially with cuts. Some guys are making too much money and, all of a sudden, camp cuts. Sometimes they have to get rid of people. VI says that would be a good addition then. I think it would be. It's a tough race. GTA 6 or Justin Simmons as an Eagles first. I want to say GTA 6. I don't know what the hell that was. That was weird. Uche is good enough to beat one-on-one matchups. Yes, he is. He is. I like that. And I wonder if the NFL changed the rules on the tush push. Would it be wrong of them to get rid of it? They listen. People are bitching about it because they can't stop it. And I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm sorry, guys. Something keeps running off. So let me close out those windows real quick. There we go. All right, better. Yeah. Let me bring up your question again. All right. I wonder if the NFL changes the rules on the tush push, would it be wrong of them to get rid of it? Listen, they're probably going to end up banning it. I think when it comes up, again, there'll be more teams. Like they narrowly got by this year. But I'm looking at it like this. Even if they would have got rid of it this year, look at the Eagles' backfield. Like literally, the Eagles are actually going to be using Ben Van Sumeren as a fullback this year. That's it. He's not playing linebacker. He's making the team as a fullback. He's going to be a lead blocker this year. So the Eagles are actually reintroducing the fullback this year. And I'm sorry, with a fullback leading the way, you have Saquon Barkley, who's like 240 pounds. Then you got 260-pound A.J. Dillon. Like a lot of people forget the Eagles signed A.J. Dillon this year. And I think they did that just in case the NFL said, no more tush push. So you got all that beef running up the line. It's going to be hard to stop. And I think, too, it's going to give Saquon a very good break this year. If you're looking at the running back situation, you have Will Shipley, who can take over the role of Kenny. I forget his name now. He went to the Steelers. Our guy, Kenny Gainwell, Kenny G. He can take the place of Kenny G. But, other than that, boom. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. And but that's the Eagles were proactive on this. When they signed AJ Dillon, I looked and was like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, these guys are pretty much, if this gets banned, now they got a 240-pound back, a 260-pound back, and then you got the lightning fast hiccup that is Will Shipley. So I think the Eagles will be okay with doing that. Dave Edis checking in. Just tuning in. Did I miss it? The Flyers talk. No, Dave, we're actually about to move on to that, believe it or not. Just want to round it up I'm only going to be on for an hour, guys. Kenny Fry checking in. The only thing I can see them banning is the push from behind. I'll tell you what. Guys, if you want to check out, if you are a Raiders fan, make sure you go to Out of the Box and check out my man Ken Fry. He also does a Mets show also called The Bat Cave. Kenny, I do not have the times for your shows anymore, but get them over to me, man. I'll plug them for you. But yes, Ken is a Las Vegas Raiders fan, so get over to Out of the Box Sports and check him up. He's known as the Bat Fry over there, man. Good dude, Kenny. So VI says Eagles are basically the meme machine from the longest yard. I don't know, man. He says Howie Roseman needs to run the Sixers. Yeah, because Daryl Morey ain't doing it. Like, I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to talk about the Sixers on this show because they're abysmal. I like the kid they drafted. Now he's gotten into the Sixers medical facility, and now they're all stupid and don't know what's wrong with them. But, if you come on here later, Matty B will disagree with you. Is it less stressful doing doing the show single this week? No, not at all. I almost feel like, if it wasn't for you guys, I'd be going nuts. Usually by this time, I'd be yelling at Pat about something. So I don't know. He says, I can't believe the Eagles are running back Jake Elliott after last season not being able to kick over 50 yards. He was 1 for 7. Well, hey. They're going to bring him back, dude. They're going to use that dude until his leg falls off. That's all there is to it. Ken Fry says, if I wear my Raiders jersey and my Batman mask to the Raiders at Eagles, will I get beat up? LOL. I don't think so, because you're a Raiders fan. If anything, those two fan bases, I went a couple years ago on Christmas, and there was a few Raiders fans that were there. They were cool as hell. They were like, that's right. They're like, they don't like us and we don't care. So they got a bad boy. Your Raiders got a bad boy image just like our Eagles do. And we play each other once every 4 years. So there's really no bad blood other than Super Bowl 15. So, Eagles, I think the Eagles need to bring in competition for Elliott. They may, Mike. They may. You never know. Howie and the Eagles front office are the gold standard. Yeah. I think so right now. I mean, especially if they win another Super Bowl. They win another Super Bowl. That's 3 Super Bowls in 8 years. Like, yeah, that's talking like 49ers Cowboys level. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, they won 2 and 7. If they win 3 and 8 and 4 within 10, you're talking about a dynasty. So, could it be? Maybe. We have to wait and see. I think the Eagles are going to. I think the Eagles are one of the best in the NFC. But there's other good teams. Edgecombe has some very Jimmy Butler qualities around him. He said, laugh my ass off. Sixers should be fun to watch with Embiid and George healthy. Again, V, you're saying Embiid and George healthy. That's like 2 things that are never going to happen. I wanted Embiid traded out of here 2 years ago. Maybe even 3. On our old network, Edge of Philly, I did a sit-around with my partner, our buddy Gus Seminaro, God rest his soul. He was in there. Our buddy Joey Sullivan. We were all sitting around a table having a good old-fashioned round table. And I said that they should trade him. And everybody at the old EOP came at me like I was nuts. And guess what? I'm proven to be right about now. They've all come to my hill on this because I don't think you can win with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is Mr. Softy. And you can mark it on your calendars. He's not going to start the season for the Sixers because it's questions in health. Now you got to look forward to and like I said, the one guy on here that I think the Sixers should throw a boatload of money at is Tyrese Maxey. Because Tyrese Maxey's got to carry both of them clowns. Paul George don't want to be here. He just took the highest paycheck to be here. He don't want to be here. So let's do him a favor. Let's get rid of him. Take him and his I'm good with that. And you just said the 2 words that are just so Embiid. Like this is the line of the day right here. Sixers should be fun with Embiid and George healthy. Healthy. That's not happening. Not at all. Not at all. I got a better chance of hitting the lottery than both of those 2 knuckleheads making it through a full NBA season. If you ask Jerry Jones, I bet he'd say something different. Yeah, Jerry probably would. Jerry thinks they've trusted the process too much. Yeah. Joe only knows how to play one way. I can't see him learning how to play as a compliment. Oh, no. That's why I said the most stupidest thing ever was for him to, the Sixers could have got a boatload of draft picks and literally could have redid their team by trading this stiff away. I'm sorry. And I root for Joel. I root for him. I want that dude to have, 40 and 20 every night. I hope he gets it. But to me, it just, the body, his body's not going to last. And we know it. Out of an 82-game season, if you get Joel for 50 of them, you're lucky. Paul George, you're lucky. If you get both of them for 50 games, you're lucky. So, I wanted to get into some Flyers talk real quick. not really so much on that. I do like um, I do like some of the signings that the Flyers made in free agency. Uh, I will say this: I listened to Danny Briere's press conference. I really thought it kind of gave you a better idea of where they're going. Um, but I'll tell you what, I like the fact that they're going back to their physical roots. Not the fighting, just physical. I feel like over the last decade, Flyers hockey's been kind of dormant. And what I mean by Flyers hockey is hard hitting defensemen, letting people know that they're going to get you coming into the Wells Fargo Center or soon to be Xfinity Mobile Arena. When you come in there, you're going to have to lace them up for 60 minutes. That type of Flyers hockey has been gone now for, I'd say, 15 years at least. You know, again, a lot of people wanted some of the nostalgia. They wanted a nostalgia signing this year, like going after Claude Giroux. I think Giroux will return to the Flyers one day, but it will be a one-day thing to retire as a Flyer. I don't think he'll ever step foot on the ice again in an orange and black. I could be wrong. Maybe if the Flyers are making a playoff push and they can get him, they may. But I don't think that'll happen. But I've really liked what I had to listen to what I had to say, or what Danny Briere and Keith Jones had to say on this Flyers team about how they're moving forward, and I like what they're doing. I really do. I think the Zegras trade I thought was a very good one. They didn't give up much in Ryan Poehling. I was a Poehling guy. I liked him, but I think Zegras can come in and help out. And then, of course, I really like the guy from Montreal. Just trying to look his name up right here. Flyers free agents. Oh, man. Where the heck did it go? There you go. I don't know about you guys. Are you guys? I was kind of happy that they didn't re-sign Peltier. I didn't want him back. I did not like him whatsoever. That's why I was just looking. I was like, but I will say this: I love the Christian Dvorak. That's who I was looking at. Dvorak. There you go, guys. Flyers haven't been tough to play against for a long time, except for maybe 2 seasons ago in the beginning. You're right. Brendan Gallagher. I like him too. I like Brendan Gallagher too. I think that was a pretty good one. Dave Ennis checking in. Dvorak. John Morris checking in. Morning, Cuss. Morning, buddy. How are you? Christian Dvorak. Yeah. I like that sign. I think that's going to help them out a little bit. I think he's an upgrade from Poehling. So, Mike checking back in with the Eagles thing. He goes, I think the Eagles' 4th round pick, the Vanilla Gorilla Ty Robinson, makes an impact. I do too, Mike. I do too. I think that Ty Robinson jersey will be flying off the shelves at Lincoln Financial Field and wherever they sell Eagles jerseys. Matter of fact, I might actually try to grab one. I gotta give my local connector call and see if I can get me a Ty Robinson jersey, because I think the Vanilla Gorilla is going to be the Vanilla. They call him the Vanilla Gorilla or the Vanilla Gorilla. But yeah, I can't wait. VI checking in says, "Damn, can't believe Chris Sanchez didn't make the All-Star team." Hey, look, I'm going to say this again about this. About this Phillies team. The less people that have to go to Atlanta, the more I'm happy about. Go home. You ain't got to play. You're playing at home this weekend. You could sleep in your own bed Monday all the way to Friday. Rest up. I don't want nobody going and playing in that damn game. It's a joke of a game anyway. It used to be the All-Star game back when I was growing up. There was no interleague play. So you always wondered who had the better league. And that's why the All-Star game was awesome, because you would see guys and see pitchers and see matchups that you would never see. Case in point, just go back to 1993. John Kruk versus Randy Johnson. Probably one of the funniest things you'll ever see in an All-Star game. John Kruk wanted no part of Randy Johnson, and I don't blame him. He said, I'm very happy that none of the Phil's pitchers are in the All-Star game. I am too, Steve. That's all I'm saying. Yep. Dave saying Dvorak's very good at face-offs. Yes. And that was something that we needed, Dave. This Flyers team got its ass kicked over and over again on face-offs. Over and over again. So he said this team needs the rest. It does. The Eagles' defensive tackles could be Baby Rhino, Jalen Carter, and the Vanilla Gorilla. Right? Mike, I'm telling you, that's going to be a good one, man. That's going to be a good one. It says, I want to see him strike Judge and Cal Raleigh out back-to-back. Well, listen, maybe next year, because you guys do realize next year the All-Star game's here in Philly. So it'd be kind of cool to see some of the All-Stars coming here next year. I'm actually going to try to get tickets to go to that. That's something I wanted to do. I missed it in 96. They go to the home run contest, though. John Morris, they need the rest. Yeah, Johnny, I agree with you totally. All right, guys, listen. As in, per usual, the meal of the day today, I'm going to be doing some chili dogs today. That's right. I'm going to roast up, fry up some dogs, throw some chili on it, some little sliced jalapenos. That is going to be my meal of the day for this 4:30 first pitch for the Phillies today. So that's what I'll be eating. Pat has probably stopped at every every roadside thing. He's probably stopped at every roadside. Every whatever stop on the way back, travel stop on the way back. He's probably cleaning them all out on his way home from South Carolina. So make sure you guys do that. All right, guys, just a little quick programming note right here. Make sure you check out the Final Word with Matty B every Sunday through Thursday. So Matty will be on tonight, and I'll tell you what, I'm interested to see what he has to say about some of the things I've talked about here this morning with some of the Phillies, just options that are out there. That I feel like there are some options that are better than the options we have here on this team. So make sure you check him out tonight. He's on every Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. Then on every Thursday, make sure you check out Pat Bernard and Steve Fuentes. They have you covered with the MLS and the Philadelphia Union. And Pat makes his return back tonight. That's right, the Bugs Bunny of It's a Wrap Sports Network. Pat is back with his show, The Wraparound. I covered for Pat the last 2 weeks, but he will be back this Friday at 10:30, so make sure you tune in for that. And, of course, me and Pat right here, and Al, hopefully next Sunday, all participating parties will be back. Your Sundays will never be the same with P&M and the AM, so, guys, make sure you check us out. For this final series today, that's right, Matty B will have you covered with the Fightins final, so I don't know if he's going to do both, but he may, knowing Matty and the hard work that he puts in. And for next weekend, here is your schedule. That's right, it is Al Friday nights. That's right, Al is the Friday night guy here. It's the Friday night guy here. So Fridays with Al, that's what we should call that, not the Fightins final. Fridays with Al. Pat will have you on Saturday, and Matty B will have you on Sunday, guys. And don't forget to, with Matty B taking over today, he will have your Down on the Farm segment. That's where he goes in and literally dissects the Phillies farm system, and we'll be able to talk everything about that. So I want to, oh, wait a minute. I got to make sure. Where's it? Okay, here we go. Steve checking in. I think this may be a comment of the day. Next year, Jalen Carter and Ty Robinson will be called Ebony and Ivory. Write it down. Oh, that would be cool. How will everybody feel about next year's All-Star game in Philly? Wheeler backs out and any other Phillies back out. I can't see the backlash on that. He said Philly dogs. What did Ryan say? Ryan says, don't leave us. Yes, Ryan. Apparently all good things must come to an end, buddy. Mike Papperton says, my dinner today, pork chops, real mashed potatoes, and veggies. Oh, man, you had me. I'm not a big pork chop guy, man, but hey, common courtesy of the wraparound. Oh, our buddy Bill Furman checking in. How are you, Bill? He goes, I'm so old. I was at the 76 All-Star game at the Vet. I had graduated from high school, and was also at the NBA All-Star Game at the Spectrum. That's awesome, Bill. I was actually born in '76, Bill, so I don't want to make you feel old, but that's the year I was born. So no, I wasn't there, but I was probably about a month old when that All-Star, or probably like 2 weeks old. So yeah, that would be awesome. He said, "Get that Sal G out of hiding." Hey, listen. I would love to see Sal, but Sal's off doing his thing right now. Hopefully, he'll be coming back in. Adam says, "Great show, Mike." Mike Papernick also saying, "Great show." Guys, listen, it has been my pleasure for you guys. Oh, look who woke up. Steve was down there last night at the Union game, so I got to give Steve a pass because he was down there covering those fighting Chesterns, as I call them, the Union, because they don't play in Philly, they play in Chester. Soccer team from Chester. All right, guys, don't forget Matty B with the Fightings final, and he will also be on tonight. So make sure you guys keep it locked in right here to It's a Wrap Sports. I am Mike Lyro, and you guys enjoy your Sunday. Go Phils, and I'll see you when I see you.